Hello, I'm Helen Bradley. Welcome to this video tutorial. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you the difference between vibrance and saturation in Lightroom, and I'm going to suggest a process for adjusting colors using these adjusters. The vibrance and saturation sliders are found in the Lightroom Develop module in the Basic panel, and what they allow you to do is to adjust the brightness and saturation intensity of color in your image. Now there's quite a bit of difference between these two sliders, and it's important to understand the difference. I'm going to look at saturation first because saturation traditionally is the slider that you have in just about every piece of software. Lightroom was actually unusual in providing us with a vibrance slider, and now that same slider is available inside Photoshop, so it's important to know the difference and when to use them. The traditional method of increasing or intensifying color, however, was always saturation, and to intensify the color in an image you just drag the saturation slider to the right. Now I've done that obviously way too far, but you can see that it's had the effect of intensifying all the colors in the image. Now of course if you drag saturation to -100, what you're doing is you're removing all of the saturation in the color and you're converting the image essentially to black and white. Double clicking the word saturation takes the slider back to its 0 or starting position. Now vibrance operates a little bit differently. It does saturate colors, but it doesn't oversaturated colors that are already highly saturated. So there's a protection in here with vibrance that doesn't oversaturate colors. So you'll probably find that the lips here of this clown at Luna Park in Sydney are not quite as red when we use the vibrance slider as they would be if we used the saturation slider. Now the other thing that's really handy with vibrance is that it's got a protection for skin tones. Let's look at this image here and let's look and see what happens when we wind saturation all the way up on this image. Well, when we do so, not only is this pink area as well as some of her clothes and this purple area here being saturated, but also her skin color has gone orange. That's the color of skin. It's not pink, it's actually orange, and saturation just bumps up the orange in her skin so it looks as if she's got jaundice. So let's take saturation all the way back to 0 and let's see what happens by contrast if this time we use the vibrance slider. Well, in this situation we're getting still an enhanced color in her clothes and in this little mirror set behind her and in her eyes and lips, but you can see that this time her skin hasn't gone to the same orange color that we would have got had we increased saturation all the way. And the reason for this is that vibrance protects against you blowing out skin tones. It just won't let you take them to orange. So now if I were faced with fixing this image, this is what I would do in terms of balancing saturation and vibrance. For a start, I'm going to use saturation because that's going to saturate or brighten and deepen all the colors in the image, and I'm going to take it to a point just before it starts to damage the image. So I'm going to use what saturation will give me in this image and probably back that off even a little bit from there, probably around 20 in saturation to just start the saturation happening. And then I'm going to finish it off with vibrance because vibrance is going to saturate the undersaturated colors in the image and it's going to protect me against oversaturating the skin tones. Now saturation is the only one of these two adjustments that's available elsewhere in Lightroom. For example, the graduated filter has saturation but there is no vibrance setting, and the same here with the adjustment brush. We have saturation but no vibrance, and it's going to be the case too with the new radial filter. Saturation, no vibrance. So just be aware of that, and that's an ideal way of fixing your images, is to first adjust up the saturation to an acceptable level and then kick in and finish off the image with vibrance. I'm Helen Bradley. Thank you for joining me for this video tutorial. Look out for more video tutorials here on my YouTube channel, and consider subscribing to my channel and you'll be alerted when new videos are released. and visit my website at projectwoman.com, where you'll find more tips, tricks and tutorials on a range of applications including Photoshop, Lightroom, Illustrator and a whole lot more.